Is this thing on? Oh wow, look at that light. Woo, no. Hey, so I can't see the computer screen. Can somebody see the computer screen or in contact with Larissa where you can get a thumbs up from the people in the outstations that they can hear us? Anyway, I'm going to assume that so that we don't waste too much time listening to me instead of what we got on store for you. Look at this, standing room only in the back. There's 104 seats up here, but it's all good. So, what a great day. It is New Year's season. So my first message to you is Happy New Year. Yeah, well, thank you very much. It means more coming from you. So I did my part, and in the matter of 63 days, over the holidays, I gained 14.2 pounds of solid fat. Getting ready for the new PT test that's on the horizon, which we can talk a little bit about in our Q&A session coming up. But what I want you to see is we look at, I think he already gave you the overview slides. I felt compelled to do some commander's calls because we didn't do that in my first year and a half. And the reason we didn't do that is because this facility wasn't quite ready. And now that this facility is ready, we'll be doing this every single quarter, having one in the afternoon and one in the morning. I'll do one tomorrow. But it's the least we can do for you is let you see your command team up front and get the latest. But this is a New Year's edition, and we're going to talk about what transpired in 2025, but recognizing that we're coming up, and today is the 13th, correct? Things are blurring in my age, they get really blurry over time. 17 days, well 16 now if you count from the morning on, to another potential government shutdown. So I wanted to make sure we got in front of you on the new year and let you know that that is a real thing on the horizon that could really happen. And so what I want to make sure this commander's call covered was some more of the CPO stuff, the finance stuff, the resilience stuff, and the things that you can do and the places that you can go and call to get help if you need help. I would say that it's probably a coin flip. Who's that talking? Is that just in my head, or do you guys hear that too? Yeah, I also did a lot of celebrating over New Year's. All right. So you can read the slides, and these are so big on here that I get a little closer here, then you can hear me better. So I just noticed I want to pull that away. What I want to talk about was what made 2025 unique, and what's interesting is I just did an interview with a historian about 2025. And the way I characterize 2025, and again, I've been in for 41 years, believe it or not. The way I characterize 2025 was the most externally generated challenging year this century for the United States Air Force.
Where they teach us like, hey, surprise.
Let somebody know that they're up on mic. That they got a hot mic in the outstations. So it's the most It is. You dog, this is going great. And the reason I say that, because in the last quarter, or the last 25 years, basically this century, not counting COVID, all right, that 19 to 20 COVID period was just something off the charts. But if you take COVID and what we did for COVID and you set that aside, you even take the global war on terrorism and what we were doing with two major theaters of war, we had nothing like 2025, and that's what we're conveying here on the slides in very short order. The new administration brought to us 97 executive orders in what was less than a 60-day span, but more than that, they brought 58 of them in the first 2 weeks. And they were coming in hand over fist, and they had major sociological implications for our service that we waded our way through, and we waded our way through that because of you, not because of us in the front. They had significant mission implications. The delayed resignation program was real. That gave people the option to resign from our United States Air Force as a Department of Air Force civilian, with your commanders and your command teams having no say in the process. Those messages went directly to civilians when all of the responsibility for mission remained on the shoulders of the people who were in charge and had to manage risks. With that, ultimately, it only cost us 8% of our civilian workforce. That's the good news. The follow-on with the hiring freeze had an even more dramatic effect on us. That ultimately hit us to more like 15 to 20% impact to mission achievement, mission accomplishment. With that, we're still in the hiring freeze. And we still have to work with exceptions on getting out of that hiring freeze, and we still have to meet the bogeys from the MAJCOM on where we get our civilian workforce to. Those challenges were big enough. Then we hit the longest shutdown in the history of the United States. Not in the history of the Air Force, in the history of our nation. We've never shut down operations at the government level and the funding that followed for 43 consecutive days. I actually lost it a little bit during my interview. I hope I don't do it here. But it needs to resonate with every single person in the room and with everybody in the outstations. For people to have gone 43 days without a paycheck, for people to have gone 43 days and had to work and not get paid, for people who didn't have to work, who weren't on vacation, and who instead felt ostracized and less important, and be away from work and not get paid for 43 days. It doesn't matter if you were a GS-13, you got bills, you got challenges. You might have parents who need medical care. You might have crashed your car 2 weeks before the government shutdown, and the insurance hadn't paid out yet, so you emptied your bank account to buy a new car waiting on the insurance, and now you don't have a paycheck. Or you could be a single mother of two and only be a GS-7. What broke me up was the spirit and the resilience of everybody in the 82nd TRW. The military who had to overcome for the loss in the civilian workforce during the DRP season, then during the hiring freeze, then on the backs of the furlough during the government shutdown, for all the civilians who had to work without pay, to adopt the work of other people and to carry forward. And the thing that chokes me up is that y'all came back. You could have said goodbye to the Department of the Air Force, and you could have said goodbye to the 82nd TRW, and you did not, because your faith in this team was bigger than your disgust with how the rest of the enterprise operated. So forever you will have my thanks. And 2025 was the most amazing year we've had. Go to the next slide. This is a list. I'm not going to read from the list because you can read from the list. What I will emphasize is what is not up there. That we had a number of squadrons, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is a production base. The 82nd Training Wing is not an air base wing. It has an MSG, and it's in the business of producing airmen. And for every airman that we produce at Sheppard Air Force Base, the return on that investment is 11.2 years of service. Every airman produced returns 11.2 years to our nation. So it's much more important than producing a sortie. We are a production base. A number of our squadrons shattered production records in 2025. Overall, 2025 produced more graduates than we've seen since 2019. The MSG, the mighty Bear Dogs of MSG that support two wings, were instrumental in the 80th FTW flying more sorties for more hours and producing more pilots than they ever have in the history of the wing. We dominated that Sheppard Air Force Base, and it was because of the 82nd TRW. 14 people won MAJCOM higher awards, MAJCOM or higher, Air Force level and DOD level awards. 4 squadrons were the best in all of AETC. We stood up 2 new squadrons. We shacked it on tech training transformation with $64.9 million invested. We fought off COM AETC direction to divest GITAs and brought sense to the table and forced AETC A4 to come up with a balanced solution set for training technology and GITA balance. Put that into the palm and on our way forward. We reorganized for great power competition and developed an A staff and went to an entire new structure, but then we didn't because they changed their mind. There has been no more successful year in the history of the 82nd TRW than 2025. And on the foundation of the challenges we had that were the greatest challenges we've seen in a quarter century, it is 100% because of you. And for that, you have my New Year's thanks. And for that, we'll get on to the rest of the agenda. Let's have a better 2026. Thank you for your time.
Okay, next we're going to welcome Ms. Kimberly Parker and Mr. Mark Rangel to provide legislative and CPO updates.
Okay, well, now that I have you all here, I'm here to talk to you about your extended car warranty. Just kidding. I'm here to talk to you about getting something less fun than that. So, let's talk the potential for a government shutdown. I've been monitoring what Congress has been doing over the last few months since the last shutdown to see where we are on the Appropriations Act. So if you're not tracking, we are currently under a continuing resolution set to expire at the end of January, January 30th to be exact. I did get some questions on, well, didn't we pass the NDAA back in December? Yes, we did, but there is a difference between authorization and appropriations. So the National Defense Authorization Act did get passed and signed into law December 18th before our Exodus break. That is just a policy. The appropriations is where the actual funding will come from. It does get a little confusing because in the Authorization Act, sometimes they will put some budget information in there. Basically what that is, it just shows that organization that these are the estimates that we think you should be operating within. The Appropriations Act will come in, they'll look at the Authorization Act, and then they'll set the budget from that. But a lot of things could happen in between that. But just know appropriations, money, authorization, policy. So we're looking for the Appropriations Act. What's been happening in Congress over the last few weeks? Well, they decided that instead of trying to pass all the appropriations at one time, because they're obviously struggling with that, they're going to break it down into a couple of different bills. The first, what they're calling minibus bill, include the House passed last week, and it's now sitting with the Senate. That includes a couple of different agencies. It's the Commerce, Interior, and I believe Energy and Water. That bill is now sitting with the Senate. They, as of 3 o'clock today, they have not, 3 o'clock our time, they have not done anything with it quite yet. That being said, that's the one that they're hoping to pass first. The defense bill is also sitting in the Senate and has not moved. So those are the ones that I'm watching as of right now. I will say this. I am not a gambling person, but I do tune into the prediction markets on what the sentiment is in terms of will there be a shutdown or not. During the previous, back in October, or back in September, I should say, those prediction markets really estimated the percentage of a shutdown to be somewhere in the 60 to 70%. So at that time, kind of knew it was probably going to happen. There has been a lot of news articles that I've read. The sentiment in Congress is that they don't really want a shutdown. I know that they're working hard. The prediction markets have a lower outlook this time. So we're looking at around 20 to 30% is what the prediction markets show. That being said, we are running on a time crunch. That's our one limp back right now. So the Senate is, both House and Senate are in session right now. The Senate, however, is set to recess next week. So unless they get their acts together this week, they will be recessed next week, which is a whole week of lost work. In addition to that, the House will be on recess the following week. So we've got to figure out, really this Sunday is kind of the date that I'm looking at. That being said, there are special sessions, they could recall it back in. It's just, is there an appetite for either side to do that? So that's the status of right now. I'm monitoring it almost all day long, and I send updates out as new information becomes available. I also recommend to you guys to tune into C-SPAN. All of the House and Senate proceedings are live. They're free for you to watch. You can watch them on your computer at work. You can pull them up there. They also kind of list out what's happening today. Here's what's on the floor. Here's what's going on. It's just good information to have to know what's going on in our Congress. So with that, I will turn it over to the awesome Mark Rengel to talk about what that could mean for us here locally.
So unfortunately, we just went through this, so a lot of this information is, basically reminders, just to be prepared if the shutdown does happen. So if appropriations or the continuing resolution isn't passed by the deadline, all employees and furlough is implemented. All employees, both accepted and furloughed, will still report to work on their scheduled workday, and employees subject to furlough will perform only shutdown activities, signing notices, doing time cards, putting out of office on, that kind of thing. Employees accepted from furlough will still remain at work and continue to do accepted functions, to carry out their mission. A couple of reminders is, for employees to ensure that they have access to the personnel documents like SF-50s, leave and earning statements. Some of these documents will be needed just in case the furlough is prolonged. Different helping agencies or worker employment compensation, they'll require some of these documents submitted if anybody's needing some assistance. Same as last time, impact to federal benefit programs, health benefits and life insurance if any employees are enrolled. Coverage will still continue during the furlough. Once appropriations are approved, many unpaid premiums will be taken out of the retroactive pay once that's all processed. And I know retroactive pay was a big question last time, and yes, both furloughed and accepted employees will both receive back pay once the appropriation bills pass. Unemployment compensation, so we did provide the links and information for that. One thing we did learn is it's a prolonged process, so if any employees are needing assistance with any unemployment benefits, we recommend submitting applications as soon as possible. And our office is here. If anybody has any questions leading up to the deadline, please reach out to us at any time.
Awesome. Thank you both. Round of applause for these two. We're now going to welcome the CE Commander, Major Shields, as well as the FSS Deputy Director, Mr. Tommy Brooks, to talk about some base updates.
All right, good afternoon, Team Sheppard. How's everyone doing today? All right, so as you can see, this slide right here encompasses just a small portion of all the construction that we have going on base. Like he said, I am Major Shields, I am the CE Commander. If you have been at Sheppard for any given time and driven around, you will see that there is a lot of construction going on around base. The CE Squadron itself maintains $6.65 billion in infrastructure. Currently, right now, we have over $150 million in construction initiatives going on, and an estimated $250 million in construction initiatives that are going to be taking place over the course of the next 5 years. So I just kind of wanted to give you a quick update on some of the bigger ones that you're seeing, the ones that are probably affecting you right now as you drive around or as you're in place in some of your squadrons. But before I say that, I think the narrative of this all call today is teamwork. Teamwork even through resource limitations and everything. So I wanted to say that this slide right here showcases that not only do we have an awesome CE squadron, the Iron Bulls, but at the same time, we have the best FSS squadron in the entire Air Force. We have the best contracting squadron in the entire Air Force. We have the best facility managers that I have ever worked with as well. I appreciate every single facility manager that you are my eyes and ears. You're the eyes and ears. You're allowing me to oversee that $6.65 billion in infrastructure and taking part in that. So I appreciate each and every one of you. You are a critical piece to the Iron Bull culture. You're a critical piece to how we are getting after this construction. So I just wanted to say thank you while I was up here. So with that being said, you can take a look at these major projects right here. The runway repairs right now, We've got over 50 million in runway repairs going on. We're replacing part of the center runway. So it is a mill and overlay of the center runway. You will see construction continuously going on out there. And we are going through design efforts. We are going through some issues with that one, but we're trying to hand the center runway back over by June of this year. Then they're going to transition to the overruns for the inner runway. With all that, we are also working with the city. We have about 3 million in airfield light repairs that are going to be going on that we are taking part in that. So this is a coordinated effort, again, back to teamwork. So all that's going to be happening over the next year. Parking lot repairs, this is another big win. End of year, the team was able to posture very quickly to get after about 2.5 million in parking lot repairs all along Missile Road. So you can see that. I know that's affecting everybody in the 1900s, 1956, 1954 area. But at the same time, I appreciate the coordination and effort that's going on there. So those should be done by the end of February. They are working back and forth, trying to make sure that it is coordinated with everyone. That was a big win. 1360 is also getting their own parking lot repaired, and we have more teed up for this coming year. T7 bed down. This is a big one that's going to be happening over the course of the next probably 5 to 10 years. But as I said, about $250 million in construction initiatives going on just to bed down the T7 alone. 6 major MILCON construction efforts, some UMMC or unspecified minor MILCON, and then a ton of FSRM, utility upgrades, base infrastructure upgrades, everything that will come along with the T7 when it finally does get bed down in the early 2030s. Hospital demo, we've got some renovations going up, we've got some buildings going up, we've also got a lot of buildings going down. I love it. Hospital demo, $7.5 million. You will start to see the big building of the hospital go down probably in the next couple months. Unfortunately, it's not a big explosion or anything. I know EOD would love to do that, but there will be some big cranes out there, some big equipment, so I mean, my kids love it. So you'll start to hear crunching and you'll start to see all of the hospital go down over the course of the next probably 6 months. Building 402, HVAC and roof, again, back to the teamwork effort. This right here 6 months ago was not realistic. The team contracting, CE, FSS, everybody got together. We were able to push that through. We got that awarded in October of this year, $23 million for a new HVAC and roof at Building 402. That was something that because we were postured and because we were ready, the Air Force gave us the money for it. That's a huge win for Team Sheppard. I'll let Tommy talk to the FSS initiative. Again, back to greatest FSS in the Air Force. These are some of the things that they're doing for you in coordination with CE. Dorm repairs and projects. We have a ton going on with the dorms. Before the unaccompanied housing initiative that we had about $7.5 million in repairs to 882, 862. We also have a lot of other stuff that's going on, water repairs, infrastructure repairs, electrical utilities. And then the unaccompanied housing inspection came up, and I wanted to thank each and every one of you that took place in that inspection, because that garnered another $3.5 million at this time. We are still postured for many more millions to try and get after some projects there. But it is all thanks to you, it's all thanks to your hard work. So I appreciate you taking care of our dorms and continuing to go after that. And with the Exodus, thank you so much. We got a lot done during the Exodus. We were able to take advantage of not as many people being in the dorms. So again, a big push there. So thank you so much. And then finally, as you've seen, the CDC construction has been going on. There was some delays for that, but you'll start to see some vertical construction happen here soon. That's about a $23 million project where we will build a new CDC and tear down the old one. So that was a big win for Team Sheppard. So that'll be completed in mid-2027, and then we'll move in after that during that summer. So with all that being said, I'll turn it over to Mr. Brooks, and he can talk about the FSS initiative. But because of these Team CE successes, it's all due to you. So thank you all so much.
Yeah, let's hear it from Major Shields. Does that guy know how to party or what? I could listen to that guy talk about HVACs for hours on end. Riveting. So, my name's Tommy Brooks. I'm from the FSS. If you look up here, the two things I have to talk about is the mini golf, which, where's our cons people at? Where's my ninjas? There they are right there. Because of them, work started this week on mini golf. It could take up to 180 days. That's the official answer. I got you guys. But they're hoping to have that done quicker. That will be right behind the south bowling lanes. So you will now be able to go in, bowl a couple games, go out back, do some mini golf. You can see in that same field, they have been building a structure out of pods for PF chains. It's going terrible. So it's going to take a little longer. Some things aren't fitting together right, things like that. So if you're wondering, hey, what's going on? Those guys are just trying to get their stuff together. That is actually not managed by cons, and that's probably the problem. But it is being handled down at the Services Center in San Antonio. So they got their stuff to work out there, but we just wanted to give you an update where you go, hey, I can see the building out there and don't see a lot going on. They got their own issues. So, one thing I will mention before I get off the stage, CDC construction, there may be the question, right now we can currently, with our space, not manning, but with our space, we can take about 130 to 140 children in our current space. This should bring us up to 200 if we have the manning to cover all the rooms and all that as we go forward. So if you were wondering what is the benefit from the old CDC to the new CDC, that is it. All right, thank you, Team Sheppard.
All right, please welcome Chaplain Hall.
In the words of General Filcek, woo! It always pumps me up, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, wonderful people. My name is Chaplain Kimberly Hall, and I'm here to do a 5-minute brief on stress and spiritual fitness strategies. I've asked my wing chaplain, Chaplain Joel Cornegie, to keep me honest. So, sir, you can start the clock now. All right, so I'm going to do something a little chaplain-y, okay? So forgive me. This is so chaplain-y. And I'm going to explain at the very end. And some of you old school might know what this is. I'm going to throw this out, and I want you to rub the little heart. I'm going to explain at the end, all right? Oh, I'll do it with you now. All right, where does stress show up? Many of you may know stress shows up in work, family, relationships, health, fear of the unknown, and trauma of the past. And oftentimes we sometimes either mask or we manage stress. We mask stress when we keep the upper lip and say, I'm good, I'm all right. And we don't let people in. So meanwhile, hurt is going inside and we're not letting people see because we wear masks. We're really good at that in the military. We also sometimes manage stress by overindulging in food, drink, working too much to try to kind of overstimulating in coffee or anything that we do extra to mask or manage stress when red lights are going on inside of us to kind of suppress the stress or to control the stress that we are feeling. And so what I realized, take good care of the bear, because we'll ask for it back. I want it back. Okay, so what I realized is that stress often shows up when we're disconnected from what grounds us spiritually. And piggybacking off the wonderful video that we saw, reframing stress through a spiritual core. So what does that look like? Stress is not just mental or physical. It's also spiritual. And spiritual fitness doesn't remove stress, but it gives us meaning, connection, and direction in the middle of it. So I'm going to talk about what you see here behind me. The 4 spiritual fitness anchors. The first that you see is purpose. That helps us to understand the meaning and the why. I'm asking you a question. What gives your life meaning beyond today's pressure? What gives your life meaning beyond today's pressure? I'm going to tell you a little secret. It's an old spiritual that used to say, trouble don't last always. So sometimes the things that we are struggling with, it will pass. This too shall pass. Find your identity, your meaning. Every one of you in here is a gift. You have special skills, you are set up for success, and we beat ourselves up the most. That's going to get back to my end point, but I'm going to save that to the end. The second one is people. Connection and belonging matters, good folks. Stress increases in isolation. Now, I know some of my introverts out there say, I like isolation. I'm good, right? Don't bother me. And that can be for a while, but it's not meant for long term because we're designed to be in community. We're designed to be in fellowship. We're designed to be in connection. And so to whom do you feel most spiritually connected? And spiritual fitness grows through trusted relationships, shared values, being seen and supported. We are not meant to carry stress alone. Path. How am I doing, Chaplain Carnegie? All right, good. All right, I'm going over. Okay, well, give me grace. One more minute. Direction and values. Stress often comes from feeling pulled in too many directions. So what is my spiritual path and what values guide my choices? A clear path helps us say yes with intention, and it also helps us to say no without guilt. Even small alignment reduces inner tension. Finally, okay, I'm gonna get off. Practices. It's good to practice daily grounding habits. Spiritual fitness requires practice, not perfection. So what practices help me reset when stress rises? For some, it may be taking walks. For some, it may be watching a movie. Whatever it is, what grounds you and what practices can you do even today to embark on that journey? When stress shows up this week, which one of these, purpose, people, path, or practice, do I need to strengthen first? All right, where's my Care Bear? Then I'm off the stage, I promise, okay? Where's my Care Bear? All right, bring my Care Bear. Somebody run with it. Bring the bear so I can hold it up for everybody to see. Yay! They're the winner! Woo! So for my old school folks, there used to be a cartoon called the Care Bears. All right. At my last station, my team gifted me with this. It's a tender heart bear, and maybe they were speaking to me in some way. But I want to speak to you, and this is my final word. In the midst of everything, practice kindness to yourself and practice kindness to others. You are loved and you are a gift. And we're here at the Chaplain Corps especially are here to support you. God bless.
Thank you, Chaplain Hall. Now for closing remarks, we would like to hear from our Deputy Commander, Colonel Kelly Cortland, as well as our Chief Master Sergeant, Chief Ray Schultz.
Well, now that the chaplain got you all pumped up, this should be easy, especially at a training base, so follow me on this one. When I say one, I want you to say two. When I say Air Force, I want you to say blue. 1, 2, Air Force. Blue. 1, 2, Air Force. Blue. Man, you guys are awesome. Look at that. You are totally with me. You can count to 2. You know my favorite color is blue. You got this. But that's really not why we're here today. There's one simple thought that I want to cover with you today, and it is this. The first thing I need you to do is stand up. Every single person in the room, please stand up. Stand up. There we go. There we go. All right, I see it. It's clear. You're doing it. It's definitely a training base. You all got this down. So what I want you to do now is think through this hard as I say it. If you saw somebody in need on this base, or in your family, or at your child's school, or in the street, or at a store, and they asked you for help, if you would help them, I want you to sit down. If somebody needed help, whether it be on this base, in your community, in your family, oh my goodness, everybody that stood up sat down. That's amazing. So all of you are big old helpers. You love to help. You are not afraid to help. You will help anybody in a heartbeat. Now, if you need help right now, stand up. If you need somebody in this room to help you, to do something for you, to support your family, to support anybody, I want you to stand up. I got your back, boss. I'm here for you. Thank you. Give them a round of applause. Reality is this. I've got one simple point. As we go into 2006, each and every one of you is incredibly valued on this team. We see you. We respect you. We adore you. We admire you. And we never want to lose you. We need you here with us. All of you said that you are willing to help someone else out. So what I want you to do in 2026 is this one simple thing. If you need help, I want you to stand up and ask for help. Everybody is here to support and help. Things change, things get hard, things get tough, they turn upside down. I mean, goodness gracious, look at the food pyramid. Whoever thought that would change, right? Things change. Things get hard sometimes. We are all here to help. Blessings in 2026 to you and your family. Keep helping one another, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. I think I'm the last one before all the mass exodus outside the gate. I think the defenders are like, where's everybody at? So just one thing, and I think we'll open it up for questions for about 10 minutes after that, so don't make it real quick. I know the boss had hinted at it earlier. That light is amazing. So the boss hinted at it earlier as far as the PT changes, right? And I think a majority of everybody here is already tracking, and if you're not, here's the news, right? So the new PT, there will be 2-mile tests. There's also going to be the hammer run option as well. The diagnostic begins 1 March. They've paused all official testing from now until 1 July. That's when the official testing starts. So what that means for you is it's a good opportunity to get out there now and start finding out where you're at physically, right? All of the new charts are out there, so take a look at where you're at today, because I will guarantee you that you're gonna have to run a little faster than you did before, and that's okay, right? That's what makes us a fit force. And then we're gonna have to rotate the two tests a year. But I guarantee you that those of you that were getting 90s anyway, so you only had to take one test a year, are in shape enough to be able to do it twice a year, so it should not be a significant emotional event. Because I think it is for some people, and that's okay. The other side of it too is the whole reason why we're getting after it is because we have to be a fit force, right? We have to be a lethal force that's ready to go and deploy and operate downrange at any given time, because you never know when that balloon's gonna go up. Because when it does, we're going to have to we are expected to be ready to operate in those environments, right? And so in order for us to do that, we have to be physically fit. And that's one side of it. The other side of it is just to make sure that you're healthy in general, right? Especially as we start getting older, maybe not as old as General Filcek, but as you start getting older, right, you're going to have kids you got to take care of, you want to play with them, and you want to be able to do the things that you've been doing over time, and you can't do that if you become stagnant and stale, right? So that's why this is important. That's why we continue to focus on PT. That's why we want to make sure that everybody is taking care of themselves so that we can take care of the mission and you can take care of your families when it's time for you to move on, right? And so that's why we're talking about all of these things. There's more details coming out in the official guidance, but a lot of that's out already, and you should be already tracking. If not, check Reddit. It's probably out there. It is out there. All right, so yeah, that's all I had. I know the chaplain got chaplainy, so I had to get chiefly. But now we'll go ahead and bring up the general and see if we have any questions. Generally? Okay, now we'll be general.
the invitation.
So as you all know, we have a number of squadrons that don't reside at Sheppard Air Force Base, and for some of you who aren't tracking and have lived under a rock for a few years, we are responsible for 63 locations throughout the world and graduate 65,000 people a year. So kind of a big deal. So sometimes they feel disconnected, looking for the outstations to see if they have anything they want to ask. Probably only got time in the interest of your time to take like 3 questions total. We'll give them about 15 seconds. No, we won't. We're going to give them 4 seconds. No, we won't. We're going to give them, they're out of time. All right. So before we take questions real quick, I do want to thank Ms. Kim Parker, our LL Legislative Liaison Representative, does man it all the time. She does manage. I'm the president of the Texas Commanders Council for 14 installations, all in Texas, all services, and she manages that responsibility for me, and she does the LL stuff. And Mr. Rangel and Kim, great job. Give them a hand. Good. Good job. Tommy, he likes to get big hands. Give him one too. Wood, Our IRO, Ms. Bryan, is just fantastic. Another great job from her. These guys, you can't see Musselberg and Gorsick, but Doty, my exalted exec, and Bolton, the guy who carries the CAG on his back, give them a hand. Good job. Larissa behind the scenes in the front office, who's connected our outstations and is monitoring that from her headquarters. Give her a big hand so she can hear. Okay, with that, I do want to give one last message because Colonel Cortland hit on it, and that's the concept of gratitude, and it's what gets me through really tough times. The reason I stood up when she asked that wasn't a ploy, that wasn't something we had pre-planned. It occurred to me while she was asking that question, that if you need anybody, stand up. It occurred to me that I need each and every one of you. Anything that I need to execute in my mission responsibilities takes somebody in this room every minute of every day. And I fail if you don't succeed. And so with that, I can't even kid myself that I don't need something from everybody every day on this installation just to execute my duties, and I appreciate it. But more than that, when people ask me how I'm doing in a day, every one of the people who work with me every day know what I always say. I always say better than I deserve. No matter how the day is going, and it's not just a saying, it's a belief of mine. I have 2 legs. I don't deserve 2 legs, I just happen to have 2 legs. We all know people who don't have 2 legs. When I wake up in the morning, I play football. It's 7-0 because I woke up, and at my age, that's not guaranteed. When I can walk to the bathroom to get ready for work, it's 14-0 because not everybody can walk. When I can see in the mirror to take care of my hair and my face so I look fabulous for you guys, it's 21-0. By the time I can get on a uniform that is not torn, tattered, and old and put on boots that fit my feet and get into my car and drive away, when I have spilled coffee on my uniform, it's not a bad morning. It's still 35-7. I'm still winning. Don't let bad things ruin your day. Don't let tragedy ruin your month. Recognize the gratitude of everything that goes right, because that's what's wrong with us when we get into really bad spots, is that we don't keep realistic score of all the thousands of things that go right in a day just for us to have lived. So with that, we'll open it up to any questions anybody has in here about any issue. And if you don't have any, I'm fine with that too, because then you get to hit the gates. But you want to stagger them a little bit, so talk with your friends on the way out. That light could be a buzzer at the gate. All right, I actually don't see any questions, and so I measure this as a success. So tell your friends tomorrow morning, 7:30, who didn't make it today. They're more than welcome, and we'll have another talk then. Thank you all. You are cleared hot to leave. Have a great day.